Hi y'all, it's Charlene from the Crafty Art Shack, and we're back here today with another challenge video. I'll tell you more about that in a little bit, so let's get on with the crafts. Let's go! Right, here we go with DIY number 1. Okay, for this first DIY, I bought this round plaque from the thrift store for 99 cents. And what you see here is I took a piece of the Dollar Tree cork and I cut it out so that it would fit on the back of this when I was getting ready to finish it up. And you see it says Hello Fall on the front of it. So I'm going to take that and set it to the side while I work on this. And next thing you see me doing here is I started out cutting out this calendar page that I got from a calendar from the thrift store, and it had old vintage Americana pictures in it. And so what you see me doing here is I'm fussy cutting it out. You guys don't do this. I got all the way down here to this corner and realized, why am I doing this? You can take, and I'm going to save that piece to put on later on something else. And so you could take and just rough cut it close to where you need it, and then because we're gonna be able to fix that in a little bit. So what I did is I put some Aliens tacky glue down. You guys, in hindsight, I should have put Mod Podge down because this turned out a little bumpy when I got done with it, and it wasn't like I wanted it, but I made it work and it made it look old and vintage anyway. So we're gonna roll with it. Now I'm taking my brayer to push all that glue out, and I'm wiping off the extra. Now, after I got done with that and I let it dry, I really didn't let it dry, you guys, because for video purposes, I need to keep moving. But I am going around with my filer and I am sanding the edges of this down. And you see it turned out rough. That's why you want to use the Mod Podge, let it dry, then iron this picture on, and it would have been completely flat, but it bubbled, and that's okay because I'm going to take my and rub out these places, and when I do that, it's going to cause the edges to it's going to cause the paper to kind of tear, and that's what I wanted because I wanted it to have this vintage look to it. Then I'm going to take my picture, and I got this ribbon, you'll see me use it in other videos, and I'm just going to go around and crease all the little edges so that I can run this around the edge of this. I'm going to go in there with my hot glue and glue this all the way around the oval. And then after I finish that, then I'm going to go around the edges with this jute cord. Now this jute cord came from Temu, and I'm going to go all the way around the edge of it. I'm going to start at the bottom where I seamed my ribbon together down at the bottom, and I'm going to start down there as well with the jute cord. I'm going to go all the way around it. And then the next thing I did is I took my fingernail file, laid it flat, and I went over the top of this with the, that thing, the fingernail file. And you see how it caused some of the paper to tear. Now I'm going to go and seal it up with this black wax, and I want the black wax to get down into that paper so that it doesn't look like it was just, you know, torn on purpose and it looked new. I wanted it to look old. So I'm going in with this black wax and going over it, and then I'm going to wipe some of that wax back off. The next thing I'm going to do is take the back of it and finish it off by taking this piece of cork, and I'm going to lay this on here and press it down really good. And I start it and then I pull the rest of it off. And I do this because I want the back of my project to be finished. This cork makes an excellent finish for the back. And I'm going to take my brayer and rub it down really hard on there. Now I didn't feel the need to put any extra glue on it because this stuff is super sticky. And when I say super sticky, I mean super sticky. So you guys, this is turning out beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Now the next thing I'm doing is you see me gathering up some of this burlap that burlap ribbon that I got from the Dollar Tree, and I'm going to take and make it into a little rosette to put on my picture we just did. And I'm going to take and tie it, and then I will take those ends and pull them around and glue them. And then I'm going to, let's see right there where the ends come together, I'm going to take and put some hot glue in there, and then I'm going to squish it together. And you guys, that hot glue is very hot. It's very hot. Trust me. I know. I did it. And I'm going to trim off those little pieces so that they don't show from the front side. I'm going to flip it over. And I was showing you the other little rosette that I took off the last project that we're going to work on. And here's some more of that rapid dry glue. I really love this glue. It's not a super glue, but it is a glue that will work. And we're going to add these to our project, and we will see this at the final reveal. Now here we go with DIY number 2. Now for our next little project, we found this old vintage jar at the thrift store, and we are going to take another one of those this calendar. Now I found all these calendar pages, and it has the little clips on the back of it that you can cut off as well. And I'm going to take and add one of these to the front of this little bottle with some E600. Now, I used E600 because this paper is really thick, because this is one of the pages from the back, and I'm going to glue it down with the E600 because it's that way. Now what you see me doing here is I'm going to make me some little filigrees to put around this lady, and I'm just using hot glue and a mold. You don't need to dust your mold because these will pop out as soon as they dry. You have to wait for them to dry, and if you don't, you're going to be sticking to them. Ask me how I know, because I've done it. Yes, I have. Now I've gone in there and I am taking my little trimming scissors, and I'm going in there and cutting away any excess glue that spilled over on the edges and making sure it's all cleaned up. And then I'm going to take these and I'm going to get out my bronze color paint that is made by Anita that I picked up at Hobby Lobby on sale. And I'm going to go over these and paint them bronze color, and then we'll add them to our piece. I'm taking some E6000 and some hot glue and adding these to this, and I'm going to have to go back and touch up the paint on them and see. You want to make sure you're holding it down the whole time, because if you don't, it's going to pop up like that because of the shape of the jar. And so I'm just sitting there holding it, and I'm going to clean up all the glue from around the edges. I'm sorry, I thought I had this in frame, but evidently I didn't, or I bumped my camera, and I apologize for that. Now once you get them where you want them, you can go back in there, and because I touched that before it was dry, my fingers lifted up all that paint off of it. So you wait and paint them after you get them on the jar, or do it like I just did. Now what you see me doing here is some of that E6000 came out from under the edge of that, and you could just take a razor knife and scrape this off to clean up the jar. But if you do, be very careful, because you see that knife is very close to my thumb. Yes, it is. And here I am still trying to pick glue and stuff off of my fingers. Oh my gosh, this turned out really cute as well. So I'm going to glue this next piece on, add some embellishments, and we will see this at the final reveal. Now here we go with DIY number 3. So evidently for this next project, I lost the footage for it. So I'm going to tell you about it really quick. I found this piece of wood in a box of stuff that I got, and it already had this red ribbon on it, but it had a purple rosette that you saw earlier in the video added to the center of it. I pulled that off and took some of that muslin or linen, whatever cloth that I had, and tied those little white pieces on and added some bling. And we will see this in the final reveal, because I evidently forgot to film this part. Now, as most of you know, we opened up a booth this weekend. Here is a ton of thrift flips we did. We found these table legs, and if you find a table on the side of the road or multiple tables and it has a broken leg, pick up the legs because they make excellent items to redo and flip. Now, I found a bunch of bed skirts, and I made these valances, and here is the post up there that you see is what we hung our lights from at the top of our shelves, and you also see those valances back there in the back, and here's another one of those posts. There is tons of things that you can do with nothing to make it into something. So if you're ever driving down the road and you see those table legs, pick them up because they make excellent things. So here, this hutch, Beth's daughter went in there and helped us flip this, and I added the handles. Beth helped with it, and we got it all put together and put in the booth. I think it turned out absolutely gorgeous. That little doggy bed down at the bottom, we did that as well. There is so many things that we thrift flipped this week in really quick for our booth to be able to set it up. And I'm going to show you more pictures of the booth in just a minute, and I just wanted to share these flips with you. Right at this time, we'd like to thank our subscribers. We love you bunches. We really appreciate everything from the bottom of our heart that you do for our channel. And thank you, thank you, thank you. Words aren't enough to thank you for what you've done for us in this channel. And here we go with the final reveal. Alright, y'all, we're back from the craft desk, and didn't these just turn out awesome? Well, if you like this content, subscribe, like, and share because it really helps our video out. And for all our subscribers, thank you so much for everything you do for us by subscribing to the channel. And we'll see you in the next episode of the Crafty Art Shack. We'll see you later. Bye. Now, here is Beth and I when we were standing in front of the Avalon Mall, and we announced that we were getting a booth. Now, here is what the booth looked like before, and I'm going to just let this play out. Look at this. This is when the previous owner was there, and this is what he had in his booth. He had a lot of interesting things in there. But we will show you the pictures of what it looks like after we came in. And here it is after a paint job, some new shelves, and all of the different little things that you can add in to make it look very beautiful. And we've still got some work to do. If you notice, the lights aren't up there yet, but look at that sign Beth made for the kids' corner, and look at all the stuff. There is tons of thrift flips that we did this week, and you could just imagine. And there's tons of stuff that we've made in our videos here. If you see something in there that, if you watch our videos, you can see some of the things that we made and put in there. And then there's a ton of thrift flips that we put in there, and I call them thrift flips. They may have come from somewhere else. Now, in addition to opening our booth, we finally hit our goal of 1,000 followers. Thank you guys so much. And 4,000 watch hours. We really appreciate everyone who made this happen. Thank you, thank you, thank you. All right, y'all, if y'all go check out our community tab on our YouTube channel, you will find the channel lineup for the week there on our community tab. So if you ever want to know what's going on with our channel or new things that are happening or anything like that, go check out that community tab. That's where we're posting all of our information. that is important for that moment in time. So go check us out.
So you guys, if you like this content, subscribe. Hit that notification bell and give us that big thumbs up because it really helps our channel out. And we'll see you in the next episode of the Crafty Art Shack. We'll see you later.